Today we're going to look at planning and preparing a personal budget. So that would be your formative activity 5. Complete your estimated personal budget below. List your estimated income and expenses, add the totals, and transfer the amounts to the total section. Identify whether or not you have money left, which is a surplus, that's correct. Whether you have a shortfall, that's too little, so that's a cross. After you've completed the budget, identify which expenses are needs, that's correct, that's first, and which expenses are wants. So it's not wrong, but it is secondary. Income here talks about brutto because we're going to talk about expenses soon. So brutto before deductions. So salary 1 estimated, that would be you. How much do you think that is? Now, small variances will occur, but how much do you think estimated? Salary 2 can be a partner. Any investments coming in already into your account, and maybe you have a cell phone allowance or you've got overtime, and then you need to add the total income for me. If we go to expenses, now I know you don't get your expenses, but in order to control your money better, we need to know where does your money go. So, PAYE, tax, salary deductions, estimated, how much do you think that is? Medical aid, you're only going to complete rows that are applicable to you. In other words, if you have them. UIF, pension fund, I know your company contributes, but you also do. Home loan, now a home loan here will only be completed if your company deducts it for you. Garnishee orders, that is a court order for any accounts that haven't been paid, so that's a forced debit order. Union contribution, anything other. That would then be total expenses on your salary or payslip. Financial payments. Now, I hope you don't have 3 credit cards, but we're going to only talk about credit card 1. Now, notice estimated. How much do you think you pay? And the column for want and need. Remember that a want is something I desire. A need is something I cannot live without. So you're going to complete a want or a need column here for me. And then, of course, we're going to go to student loan. Do you have a student loan? A car loan. So that would only be applicable if you have your own car. A home loan. Here you will only complete it if it isn't deducted by your company in expenses. A personal loan, clothing accounts, and then total finance payments. Notice that you're only going to complete the want and need column if you've completed the estimated. So if you don't have clothing accounts, you wouldn't, for example, complete here want or need. If we go to fixed expenses, I want you to know that this is normally applicable for a period of a year because it's a contract. That would only then rates and taxes apply if you have your own home. Estimated, how much do you pay? Is it a want or a need? Vehicle insurance if you have your own car. Home insurance. Now this could be applicable whether you rent or whether you have your own home. Life insurance. Any additional medical insurance that's over and above the medical aid. DSTV, Mnet or TV license. Now notice if you pay your TV license per month, then it would be a fixed expense. If you pay it per year once, it's variable. It changes. Anything other, and then your total fixed expenses. Now we're going to variable. It means it changes. It's not the same. Right, notice the estimated column, the want and need column. Now what is household? Household here is if you put money aside to fix things in the house that may break, like a fridge. Groceries, notice you don't eat the same amount per month. Of course, this could include cleaning products, etc. Car maintenance. Do you put money aside to look after your car once a year, every 6 months? Petrol, of course, then. Travel expenses, that could be bus or taxi. If you don't have a phone in your house, but you have a cell phone, you have some phone. Electricity, furniture. Hopefully you don't buy furniture every month, but do you put money aside to eventually buy? Clothing, that would be cash. School, if you ask me why is school here, that is not your school fees. That would be a fixed expense. This is a variable expense if you have to buy clothes every now and again, or books or stationery. Any other medical prescriptions? Entertainment. Do you dine out? Takeaways, movies, excursions, memberships, gym, or any other memberships? Gifts or donations you give to a church or charity, or even just a birthday? Vacation. Do you put money aside for that? Pet care. Some people say my pets are my children. Do you put money aside? That's perfectly fine. Anything other? And then, of course, our total variable expenses. Now, if you look at the total brutto income on slide 1, you're going to put it in here for me. Then you're going to put in the totals of your salary expenses. Remember, we discussed that. Totals of financial payments, totals of fixed expenses, totals of variable expenses. And then you're going to add them all together. And you're going to say your income here minus your expenses will give you your balance. So if you have a surplus money left, that's a tick. A shortfall, that means this amount here will be a minus. That would be a cross. And then that comes to the end now of our budget discussion.